Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Sanctuary Cove International Boat Show. It is day 2 here, and I tell you what a turnout, not only in boats, but also our wonderful suppliers and vendors here. And on stage with me right now, we've got Chris. G'day, Chris. How you going?
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. What do you think of the boat show?
It's been great. Yesterday was awesome. We had a lot of people come through and a lot of interest, so it's been terrific.
Yeah.
Good first day.
Well, let's not leave them hanging. What are they interested about? What is it that you do, Chris?
Well, we look after probiotics for wastewater, so by looking after that, we're actually putting something natural into the wastewater systems, and that looks after the 5 nasties in wastewater. So you're looking after your odor, or the sludge, you're looking after the H2S, which is deadly, and you're also looking after corrosion, and it's a one size fits all. We can look after anything from large container ships right down to caravans.
How good is that? And that's how you actually came across this. Is you've got a bit of a story. You're in the States,
yep, that's right.
in one of the biggest RV places in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, where RVs are absolutely everywhere. And you had a bit of a smell coming out of the...
Oh, we had a beautiful motorhome in the States. We're driving around the family for a year, and the odours that emanated were horrible.
Yeah.
So we actually came across this product at a show, and it worked a treat. So I ordered some in and brought it down here to Australia. And we need to get some firm response on the crystallisation removal, and it did that. So we started to manufacture, and the rest is history. We've been going for 9 years now.
How good is that? And so it's not just vessels, it's not boats.
No.
It's not just RVs. You can use this.
You can use this anywhere. So basically, we've got people that use this everything from deodorizing their shoes all the way to wastewater treatment plants. So last week we just sent a whole several totes down to Sydney Water, but we look after everything from literally tugs, regular boats, caravans, septic systems, anything to do with wastewater at all.
Yeah, and one of the most amazing things I love about this product that sets apart from other products out there that do the same thing is it's actually all natural.
It is all natural, and the nice thing is that we can do what some of those other products do, but we also do more, and it's an all-in-one. So you won't find any other product on the market that'll actually look after all those 5 different areas of wastewater. So it is quite unique.
Yep, natural ingredients, like let's just name a few of them on here. We've got purified water, yeast, lactobacillus, sea salt,
trophic bacteria.
Thank you, and sugarcane molasses. So it's actually got a nice sweet smell.
It does have a nice sweet smell, and it's actually most of the ingredients is actually from up here in Queensland. So we source our microbes up further north from here, and obviously the sugarcane molasses.
Yeah,
this is where
that's
right. That's where we get all the molasses from.
Fantastic, excellent. And so we were talking about the grey water, septic, but this idea with the odour, you can dilute this.
Yep.
And also use it as a sanitizer.
Look, you can dilute this and use this in all sorts of areas. So, as I said before, you can use it for deodorizing your shoes, but actually we've deodorized complete sewage ponds with this. So we had 25 litres, and we looked after a 1,400 square metre sewage pond up in Logan here in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And they had odour complaints from 3-4 kilometres away. We were able to get rid of that overnight.
That's amazing. And we mentioned about crystallisation, sludge. You've got some amazing demo sample videos on your channel as well. So.
Yeah, we've got a lot of we've done a lot of work with this, and we've got a lot of things that we've got on YouTube and on our own videos on our own website, but also at our stand just over there at MH18. I've actually got a lot of those little props from people who didn't believe me, and they've stuck a sender right into our product, and it's actually cleaned it right back to bare stainless steel.
One of them, what was the steel?
Yep, that's a float sender. So basically that tells people the levels in their wastewater system, and cleaned it straight back to stainless steel and completely opened up that float and allowed it to be usable. Now, unfortunately, that one had actually corroded through, but the centre shaft and the magnetic float was still active.
Brought it back to nice and shiny. It looked amazing. So if you want to check that out, check the link on the page, and you can see it in action. And that you just put it into like a container, just left the bottom?
Yeah, the customer who actually was dubious of the product, he actually just cut the top off a bottle and dropped it in there.
Yeah.
So.
And how long was that in there for?
That was in there for about 3 weeks. It had probably about 6 mil of crystallization on it.
Yep.
And it came back to pretty much raw metal.
Yep. And another an example that you gave was a septic. You lifted the lid, you could just see the crust.
Yep.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
And then the next video that you show, the crust is gone.
Yep.
It is liquid.
So,
Tell us about that.
So a lot of people think that a septic system needs a crust on it, and you actually that is they say, oh yeah, it keeps down the odor, etc. Well, this looks after all of your odor. So by getting rid of that crust, we're also able to digest the sludge that's within it.
Right.
On that particular tank, they had a pump out notice, and that was in 2016 October. They have only pumped out recently for the reason that they had a broken pipe, but they actually had a pump out notice in 2016, and they didn't need to pump out until last year where they had a broken pipe.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, almost
That's
10
amazing.
years. And as I said, it was purely for maintenance, nothing to do with the fact that there was sludge there that needed to go.
Okay, cool. Now for vessels,
Yeah.
caravans, how do they add this to the system?
Look, this will look after both your black and your grey systems. So for both of those, you can simply add it in through your showers and through your drains. And for your toilets in the black water system, it's just a matter of entering it down each toilet. Now I say each toilet because we want to look after the lines that go between the toilet and also the tanks.
No, how good is that? So straight through
Straight through
the
yeah,
source.
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, do I need to open up a tank? No, you do not need to open up a tank.
Yeah, cool. Now listen, I know there's a lot of people out here with boats. And I know a lot of people with caravans, and I can tell you, they'll take them out for the weekend, they'll take them out for a week during the school holidays. Then the thing will sit there for another 8-9 months before they take it again.
Yeah.
So what's your advice, especially, if a vessel or a caravan is going to sit there for a period of time?
Look, for a vessel,